Do you have money in the stock market, and are you worried that it is going to crash again, or are you wondering if it's going to crash again, and just what's going on with all the volatility that we've had recently in the market? I don't normally live stream, but I wanted to just get on and live stream today about this because of what I read this morning, and just the questions that and conversations that have been going on around all of this. And so first, let me say that I speak here based on what I've learned in over 30 years of investing myself. I don't manage wealth for other people. I speak strictly from what I have learned. So in this video, I want to talk about the bear market, what's happened, my perspective, having survived a few bear markets now, as you may have guessed. That what comes to mind is 1987. 1990-ish, 2000, again 2001 through 2002, and then of course 2008, which most of us remember, unfortunately. So having been through a few bear markets, I have gotten a perspective, and I want to share that with you. I also want to share what I've read about whether or not this is a bear market. Is the stock market crashing again? Which is sort of what people, when the bear market, it's crashing, right? So first of all, let me explain that, and I have some notes today. I'm going to refer to my notes. I want to make sure I cover everything that I wanted to say about this. It was a really important topic. Okay, so first of all, let me explain that what the terms are. So I try to be sort of jargon free and talk in everyday language because that's what I do, because I'm just an investor myself, right? So first of all, a bull market is when the market is going up really strongly. A bear market is when the market has dropped by 20% or more, and a correction is when the market has dropped 10%. So right now we are in and we've already seen a correction. So as I talk today, the market is up again, but right, it can be down again tomorrow. So we all know that there's been volatility, a lot of volatility. We had this sharp, scary drop on the Dow Jones index last week. And so, so I wanted to talk about this. So let me say that, first of all, I think the most important thing is to put it in perspective. The market has been going up for 9 years. And so we know that the longer the market goes up, when it's been this long, we've got to be closer to a major correction or a bear market than if we had just had a bear market and we were just coming out of it, right? So it's counterintuitive. It seems like it would be the other way around. It's really scary after we've had a major market correction. And it feels great when we've been in a bull market for 9 years. Yet the risk is higher that we will enter into a correction or bear market again because we've been up for 9 years. So that's the reality, all right? So having said that, I want to mention that you may have seen my other video about the PE ratio. And the PE ratio kind of tells us if we're overpaying for the market or for an investment. So just like when you go shopping for anything, I always like to say, check the price tag before you buy anything, whether that's the stock market or whether that's, a purse on sale or groceries or whatever it is. So the stock market, you can do this with the PE ratio. And the PE ratio right now is about 19%. I just saw this morning in Barron's from, let me make sure I give you my source here, that Thomson Reuters, that the P ratio for 2017 was 19.8%. So to give you perspective, the historical average is about 17%. And when we've been at market tops before, the PE ratio has been about 26-27%. So, the PE ratio is not insanely high. So here's what's happening with the market, and which can sort of get some logic around whether or not we're entering into a bear market. So the stock market tends to do well when the economy's doing well. It makes so much sense because the companies that are in the stock market, they're doing well, they're growing, the economy's growing. But what happens is everyone can get overly concerned when things are growing too fast. And that's what's recently happened, because there was a really strong number that came out, an employment related number. And so it sounds like great, right? Oh, well, who would be freaked out about the economy doing well? Well, everybody, because if the economy does too well, then what happens is we have inflation and prices rise and the value of our dollar deteriorates. But having said that, the other thing that happens is that interest rates, the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates to try to slow down all that too speedy growth. And that is what scares everyone about the stock market. And so those types of things, the rising interest rates and the slowing economy, that is what drives bear markets. And so that's why the market got spooked recently. So that's what has been going on. We've already had the correction, right? Around 10%. So is it going to come on back up and keep going up? It could, or is it going to go ahead right now and keep going further into correction territory? If I had to take a wild guess, my wild guess would be it's going to go up more before it goes down. But that is not really the issue here. The issue here is what I want to encourage you to do is really understand that if you were in the stock market, there are going to be bears, there are going to be corrections, there are going to be bulls. Fortunately, there are bulls because that allows you over long periods of time to accumulate wealth in the stock market. But let's be realistic. The market will have another bear market. It's almost like thinking, will I live forever? We all want to live forever. We feel like we will, but we won't. And so let's be realistic about the market. We will have another bear market. We just don't know exactly when that will be. So the important thing is for you to understand that and invest realistically with that knowledge and have a realistic time frame about what's possible for you to make on your money given the time frame that you personally have before you'll need the money that is in the stock market. So that's really the reality of it. It's first of all, accepting the reality that if I'm going to be in the stock market, I'm going to have to know that we will have bull markets and bear markets, and it will be volatile and have corrections, and I can or can't live with that. And that's the reality of it. And so whether it goes up a little bit more before it goes into bear territory, or whether it goes on into bear territory now, or it rallies for another 2 or 3 years, is not really, no one knows for absolute certain. The key is to approach the market knowing that this is a reality. Number one, we will have fluctuations. We will have big drops. Number two is knowing that this is something that can happen, and the time frame that you have decided to invest into the market is a huge factor in deciding if this is something that works for you personally. And also having a plan overall that this is something that you're willing to accept based on your time frame. So that's really what I wanted to share with you in this video, just to recap, why the market has been so volatile lately. And the economy's strong, but it was so strong that investors got a little spooked because of fear of inflation and in fear of rising interest rates. This is all normal stuff for the stock market. Is it scary? Yes. So point number 2 is, if you are invested in the stock market, a fact of life around that is that we're going to have bear markets, we're going to have corrections. Fortunately, we also have bull markets, and over extremely long periods of time, the market does go up. And the third thing is only you know what works best for you. And if you're not sure, then learn what you need to learn. Find out. Be the leader of your money. Whether you work with a financial advisor, whether you invest yourself, whether a family member invests for you, understand these simple basics about the stock market. And this is your money and this is your financial future. And so understand that. And that allows you to lead your wealth, and not only that, have peace around creating financial freedom one day, financial independence, which is what the goal for all of us, I think. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. I would love it if you found this information helpful to give me a thumbs up. I don't have a sponsor right now, so if you like this, I'd love it if you support me by subscribing to my channel. and leave any comments in the comments section below. I appreciate your watching.